Hey guys, Angela Joy Johnson from the Joy Heart here. I just wanted to pop in. I just felt like popping in and just sharing some of the tips that I find that I talk a lot about with personal clients of mine, in which, sometimes when we don't take the time to actually consider what it is that we want and why we want it, is because we tend to get bogged down in the day-to-day stuff. And so often if you find yourself getting bogged down into the day-to-day stuff, you find that you have thoughts, that percolate, I suppose, in which it sort of looks like this. Well, one day I'll actually get the chance and the time to be able to sit down and really figure out what it is that I want for the rest of my life, what's sort of not working for me anymore, and what I want to do from here on in. And after spending a whole day with clients, I decided to jump on here and just share a few things that I find are quite helpful for not only myself but also the people that I work with, just to check in, every now and then with what really lights your fire, what really, makes you reignite that spark, and what is that spark that you can plug into your day-to-day life. So we often find that we're, getting on with our day and we're just doing the things like work and study and raising families, and, find that suddenly it's 5 years down the track and it's like, oh, well, I haven't really done some of the things that really fulfill me and make my life a little bit more fun. And so, I just wanted to drop in, and I'm going to share some tips with you on that, on where you can start by asking yourself some certain questions in which that will help you to start, lighting that spark again and getting that fire reignited. But before I do that, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Angela Joy Johnson, and I am a coach and an EFT practitioner who really gets to work with people that really do want to be more aligned with a life that they really love and that brings them a lot of joy on a daily basis, so that they can find the happiness and the fun in the little things, and then take that out there and feel like they're contributing in lots of different ways in life, and they're operating from a really aligned mind heart space, rather than having this life that's unfolding in front of them and actually finding that they're getting frustrated because they're not really doing the things that really bring them a lot of joy. And so, I work with clients one-on-one in particular, where we get results like more fun and more fulfillment and more joy, even in those tiny little things, because there's not that fear of missing out, that FOMO of, well, I'm just going to one day get to that thing that's going to really make my life happy. So when we one day ourselves, it's kind of like walking up along the side of a building, and then around that corner is going to be the life of my dreams. But then you find that you get to that corner and you turn and you look around that corner, and then if you're constantly one daying yourself, there'll be something more that you'll be striving for. So you'll get to the next corner and the next corner and the next corner, and soon you're just going around in circles. And so it's really easy to just get bogged down and not take the time to be able to look at what it is that you really want to do with your life, and what you want to do in relationship, what you want to do in career, where you want to be at when it comes to family situation, where you want to be at when it comes to, what your life looks like, even just within the next 6, 12, 18 months. And if we don't take that time, then we find that we just one day ourselves over and over again. And so stick around, and you can, find out a couple of questions that I usually tend to check in with myself, and I check in with other people quite regularly when I'm working with them, and not end up where you've got that fear of missing out and you're feeling really frustrated and angry and anxious even about even the idea of having it, because you're just not used to having what it is that you want. It doesn't have to be that hard, right? And so if you feel like you're really struggling with that, by all means reach out to me and click the learn more button that will be up here shortly, because it's really great to bounce ideas off each other and have those chats and figure out what is it that really is getting in the way of me creating that life that I really do want and that you so very much deserve. And so my first tip for you to really tune into what it is that you want and why you want it is to think about what you're really passionate about, what you used to be even passionate about as a kid. So what are the things that really lit you up that didn't really take anything away from you, but actually uplifted you in a really fun and fulfilling way. So it could be things like, you know, I used to love dancing, and so I find that, you know, I want to still create situations where I'm having fun and I've got music in my life and I'm dancing away. And, you know, as I've followed that, I've tended to come across amazing people. And when I follow that path, I follow the passions, then opportunities tend to open up more and more. And so I'm very much an advocate for finding your joy and really following that path, because that's you being on track. And when we're feeling like we're frustrated and angry and we're pushing against something, and it's like, you know, pushing a rock up the side of a mountain, it's often because we're not in flow of that, and we don't really check in very regularly on, you know, are we on track? Are we looking at what it is that we want? And so what did you want to do when you were little? What kind of things really lit you up? What were you really passionate about? And that moves me into the next tip as well of, you know, what do you miss the most? So if you find that there's things that you used to do that you're not doing anymore, the second step is to really look at what you miss now that you could have more of in your life that you're finding that you don't have enough of. So that might be, you know, you really miss having that fun. You might miss having that creativity. You might really miss the connection with people because you've been so busy with work that you're not actually doing a lot of connecting socially, things like that. And so what are you passionate about? What do you miss that you wish you had more of? And then the next step being, well, what is it that it doesn't take anybody to really push you to do? So that's always an indication that you're just more inspired to take those steps towards the stuff that really lights you up, that really creates that fire for you. And so have a look at, you know, where you need that push to really do some things and where you don't need that push at all. Because if it's more of an inspiration where you're like, I just want to do this because it feels really good to me, then that's often a clue as to there's something within that activity that's really passionate for you that really doesn't take any motivation outside of yourself, because it's coming from that inspired place inside of you. And then the last thing that to consider is the fact that we need to look at why we actually want to do the things that we want to do. So what do we want to do normally is something that we're usually passionate about. So, you know, I love to work with people one-on-one because I find that it really lights a fire in me. It really sparks that up where I'm connecting, I'm helping people at a really deep level, I'm helping them find that spark within their life. It doesn't take anyone to push me to do it. I love getting up and I love getting into my work. And as a child, I was very passionate about finding out about people and talking to people and really trying to understand them and coming from their perspective a lot more and more, and helping them in any way, shape or form that I can to be able to get them to see that, you know, there's things that they really desire that might perhaps be missing in their life, and working out ways and brainstorming together on how we can work towards getting that more and more for them on a daily basis. So how I was as a child and all the passions that I have there, and then celebrating a lot of that as we go, because I love to celebrate too. I'm very passionate about that, and dancing is part of my celebration, so music and just having fun like you would at a party, right? And so as a child doing that kind of stuff, and now as an adult being able to do that in my line of work. And so I really know that I'm on track with that and I'm feeling really lit up. And why, which is the last step, why I actually love doing that is because I get to feel the alignment and the inspiration within myself through other people. Plus I also get to see that one spark of moment that is lit up on their face, that it actually makes everything all worthwhile, where they start to recognize that, hey, you know what, maybe I can start to live a little bit more through my passions. Maybe I can actually do this for myself and not feel like that they're just getting bogged down in the day-to-day stuff. And so that really lights me up and really ignites that spark for me to see that in other people. So the emotional benefit that I get from working with people to help them to be able to find what it is that they really want to do, and whether that's a career, whether that's, you know, within relationship, it doesn't really matter the subject, but what does matter is that you are feeling like you are, you know, heading towards a day on a day-to-day basis, a day full of as much joy that you can experience, because every day is different. We don't get the same day today tomorrow, and we're going to have different opportunities to experience different things. So if we can, you know, make the most of our time here, because our time is our biggest asset really, and it's our most precious thing, then, you know, it just feels like you're living a half a lit fire. It's just the coals are like cindering, but there's not any big passion and big amazing spark about it, in which, you know, it's this fire that burns and burns and burns and burns. So you want a lot of energy into your day. You want a lot of passion into your day, just like a fire would be burning really and roaring, you know, and make a bonfire of your life. So anyway, if you need any more help with, you know, deciphering even what it is that you want, because we're not used to asking for it. We're used to just doing what we have to do every single day, and we start to lose a passion really quickly. By all means, do get in contact with me, and your first step to do that is to click the Learn More button, and you can, you know, find me either on social media here and send me a message, or you can actually pop onto the website and to be able to send me a contact message through there, and I will receive the message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you do need some help with finding what you're passionate about, finding what is missing in your life, and also finding why you want to do what you want to do, so that it doesn't take anyone outside of you to motivate you, and you know exactly what it feels like to be on track versus when it feels like you're completely starting to go off track. So that's all for me, and I hope you have an amazing, passionate, beautiful rest of your week, and I will be here again very soon. Take care, guys.